Welcome back everyone. In this video we're gonna talk about how to annotate a drawing. We're gonna start with text and text styles, dimensioning, dimensions and its styles, um, leaders and styles, how to scale the annotation depending on your drawing size. Also, in the meantime, we're going to review on some of the commands and functionalities that we covered in the previous videos. Okay, so in the very last video, we talked about how to draw these two basic geometries. And in this video, we're going to annotate these two drawings. So let's go back. Okay. So we draw these two geometries. I inserted these as images so that I have them in hand, and we're gonna add dimensions and text and letters and so forth. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on move and move these two a little away. Yeah, I'm gonna move this away from the origin point so that it's somewhere there. It doesn't matter where it is. And I'm gonna zoom in. Okay, let's actually move the image, select the edge, press enter, move it a little close by, somewhere there. And let's go ahead and move this entire geometry, say somewhere here. And move also the image, press enter, somewhere there. Okay. Now, in the last video, we talked about how to change the line weight of the current layer. That's layer 0. And we talked about how to turn on the line weight, right? So that the edges of the object has the proper thickness. Okay. So we're gonna create another layer for annotation. Okay. So click on layer properties and click on this icon to add a new layer. Just gonna type DIM for dimension. Let's click on this icon for color. I'm gonna select this color blue and click on OK. And for line weight, I'm gonna change the default. That's a thin. So new is default. That's gonna be a thin line. Okay. And you can make it current. Right now layer 0 is current from there, or you can simply come in, select dim from here. Make sure your color, your line weight, and your line type is all selected as by layer. Okay, so to annotate, you can use this ribbon. Majority of what you need is available here, or you can click on this tab and you're gonna have more options here. Okay, we're gonna go to the home tab and talk about different icons here. So the very first thing we'll do is let's add a leader here, a start point. And you can do it from annotate and multi-leader, add a leader, and so forth. I'm gonna go to the home tab, and there are some options under the leader, so I'm gonna choose the very first one. And you can follow what needs to be done in the command line. For new users, I do recommend looking into command bar if you get stuck. But pretty much what it's asking for, specify the arrowhead location. You just click there, and there's an arrowhead as you see. And we're gonna try to make it look similar to what we have here. Click there, and it automatically add the leader. It's asking for the text. So you can type start, press enter, point, okay, and click somewhere outside of that. So command is done. As you see, the cursor is back and so forth. So that's a start point. We're gonna make them a little larger later by changing the styles. Let's go ahead and add some extra dimensions here. So you can use this icon. This is it's called dimension, so it automatically recognizes if you wanna add an aligned dimension like this, or you wanna pick 2 points to add a dimension like this. So it's pretty smart. But if you don't want to use this, I'm gonna escape. Let's start with this. So if you want to add just linear, something like this from there to here, you can either add along y-axis or along x-axis, horizontal, vertical. I'm gonna escape out from that. Click on linear. Let's go ahead and add these dimensions. First point, second point, 2.5. Okay, as you see, we have 4 decimal points here and we have 2. We're gonna change those later. So another linear, let's go ahead and add this one, for instance, 0.5. Okay, and another one. Let's go ahead and add from here to there. Make sure you select that point, not the end of the dimension line. So that's 1.5. You can click there, zoom out. Let's go ahead and add this one. That is actually an aligned dimension. So from that endpoint to this, 5. And let's go ahead and add an angular dimension. Select one side of the angle, second side, and as you move the cursor, you will see you are able to add angle to different side of this corner. So we're gonna add this 80 degrees. Okay, that's pretty much it. But we're gonna go and do some adjustments. As you see, when you add any of these, it adds to the current layer. And you can go ahead, change the layer to 0, and then turn off your dimension layer by clicking on this icon. So it's all turned off, but they exist there. They're not gone. You can go back, click on that to turn them back on. I'm gonna go ahead and change the layer, current layer, to dimension. I'm gonna click on annotate tab and go ahead to this ribbon, dimension. There's a little arrow here. This is used to create a new style or modify the existing style. I'm gonna click on this one. Okay, the current style is standard. You can create a new one for your own purpose and keep the standard the way it is, or you can modify what you have here. For this case, I'm gonna go ahead and modify. You're gonna see a preview of what you did here. So first off, I'm gonna reduce the number of decimals from 4 to 2 decimal points. So click on primary units tab, and in the precision, let's go ahead and change it to 2 decimal points, and OK, and close. As you see right now, you reduce the decimal points from 4 to 2. I'm gonna go ahead and also increase the size of the height of the text, as well as the arrowhead size. The easiest way to do that is by going to the style, dimension style, and modify the existing style. That's your standard style. There's a very strong functionality in dimension style that you can pretty much scale everything at once. So you click on fit, there's a scale for dimension features, and we're gonna use overall scale of, let's say, 1.5. Okay, so it used to be 1, and we're gonna scale it up 50% higher, so everything will be scaled up, including the text height as well as the arrowhead size. Okay, as you see, the preview shows up. Click on OK and click on close, and please watch the text and arrowheads and everything, as you see, increased in size. So it's a little larger to my taste. I'm gonna go ahead to the style, pick the standard, pick modify, and make sure to go to the fit tab and change this to 1.375. Okay. Alright, so this is better. You can go ahead and select any of these, for instance 80, and as you see, there are a couple when you just pick a dimension, there are a couple selections given to you. I'm gonna click on this one, and you can move the text right now. As you see, it's snapping to some O snaps or object snaps. You can press F3 to turn them off. Okay, right now they're turned off and it doesn't snap anywhere. You can freely move it and place it anywhere you want. Again, grab it, move it to the middle, and escape. Gonna move these as well. So just pick a dimension, grab this particular selection, and move 0.5 to the middle and press escape. And you can do the same thing on 1.5, move it a little further, escape, click on this one, move it a little further, escape, and so forth. So it's looking much like what you have up there. As you see, the dimensions were scaled up. However, start point is small. You can do the same thing by going to annotate and the leader, standard style for the leader. You can modify that, and what we're gonna do here, we can change the size of the arrowhead. We can change the break size, and we can specify the scale the way we did for dimension. Let's go ahead and do this 1.375 and OK. And you can watch the letter you have here and scale it up to the same scale we had for dimension. So that's pretty much it for that drawing. We're gonna practice the same thing on the second project. Okay, and we're gonna move a little faster this time. So I'm gonna go to the home tab and try to use this. This is pretty smart, and you don't have to keep choosing different type of dimensioning there. The way I suggest is add the smaller dimensions first, and then much larger further away dimensions. So let's go ahead and, for instance, add select. Okay, at this point it's really not helping. I want to add this one, but I'm unable to select that endpoint. So you can go ahead and select linear and press F3. Make sure your object snap is turned on, and now you can select these 2 points and add the dimension you want, 1.0. We can go ahead and change the decimal points of the dimensions again to make it 1 decimal point or 2. You can also change each dimension independent from the rest of the dimensions, so that's also possible in AutoCAD. I'm gonna go ahead and use this smart dimension, and right now, since my object snap is on, I can select endpoints. So you see, you can do aligned, horizontal, vertical. I'm gonna do vertical in this case. Escape, select this and click there and move it up here so that it looks similar to what you have here. Smart dimension, let's go ahead and move a little faster, 0.5. Yeah, let's go ahead and add this one. You can get closer to this and align it with the previous 0.5. Okay, you can go ahead and select these 2 points. That's 3. You can go ahead and add this 2. You can go ahead and add this one 3. So as you see, I just click on the edge, not on the corners. But in this case, I'm gonna click on the corners. So it depends on if you have aligned versus horizontal and vertical. Okay. So right now we have a few angles. So 60 degrees up here, 60 there, and another leader. So I'm gonna press escape on the keyboard. Go ahead and pick aligned, or I'm sorry, angular, and let's go ahead and pick. Actually, this is missing a line, so I'm gonna escape out, change the layer to 0, add a line, and escape. Change the layer back to dim, and add an angular, and select this edge, and then this edge. Okay, so that's your 60 degrees up there. Also, we're gonna add this one, angular 60 degrees, this one, and this one. So that's your 60 degrees. Okay, up there. These dimensions are very close to each other, so actually I don't like that. You can do it this way. You can reduce the size a little bit so that you have more space, or you can simply move it to the middle or a little further down so that you don't have intersecting dimensions. So you have a lot of flexibility here. I'll go ahead and click on leader and click on that corner, click there, and then type start point. Okay, and click somewhere outside. So that's your start point. So again, you can select on leader and move it a little closer. Okay. I don't like this area, so I'm gonna move 0.5 little down and align it with this one. Get closer to there, make sure they're aligned, and click. Actually, I'm gonna undo it. Okay, that's much better. And right now you can press F3 so that it doesn't snap on anything. Okay, so that's good. Well, the last thing I want to cover is text. For text, you have 2 options, single line and multi-line. Multi-line has more functionality than single line. If you do single line, you can follow along here. Select the start point. Let's say I want to add a text underneath here, and then it says specify height. Point 2 is fine. Just press enter. And rotation angle of the text. Default is 0. You just press enter to accept that. Then you can type. I'm gonna press caps lock and type shuttle. Okay, and click somewhere outside, and you can do the same thing. You can type anything you want here. I'm gonna escape and the text command. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this, select the text, press enter, and then move it closer. Okay, you can double click on the text and you can modify it, you can type it in and so forth. So that's the functionality you have for single line text. I'm gonna delete that. Add a multi-line text. That's what I use a lot. For multi-line text, you actually draw a rectangle within. You're gonna type your text. So first point, second point. Now you can go ahead and type. However, you can change the height, you can change the font, you can change the layer at the same time. You can do the justification like within this rectangle that you draw, an imaginary rectangle, you can fit middle center, for instance, right? So let's do middle center. Let's change the height to 1, for instance, and let's add an underline and let's make it bold. So let's type shuttle. Actually, it didn't apply, so select the text that you typed, change the height here, 1, press enter. So that's shuttle. 1 looks like too large. Let's make it 0.625 shuttle. I'm gonna change from Arial to Times New Roman. So Times New Roman, okay, and that's it. Click somewhere outside. You can click on Close Text Editor, and that's your shuttle. I'm gonna go ahead and move. Select the text, press enter, base point, and move it somewhere there. Okay, so that's how we can add a text. For text also, you can add a style. So click on text, multi-line, and again, let's say select draw an imaginary rectangle where you're gonna place your text. You can, if you have any style, you can go ahead and select the style from here. If not, you can definitely create your own text style with its own font and height and color and so forth. Okay, let's for instance, for this one, I'm just gonna use the annotative, the current style, and I'm gonna type let's say bracket and select that. Change the height to 0.5. Okay, yeah, let's click on underscore and click outside or click on close, and go ahead and click on move, select the text, press enter, select the base point and move it anywhere you want. Okay, well, that sums up what I want to cover in this video. Let's see. We also reviewed on layers, layer color, line weight, move command. UCS in the previous videos I've covered that, and we talked about styles, we talked about scales, and we talked about text as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. To support this channel, please like and subscribe. Thanks.